Okay, so here's some. It's ready to get hype. So here's the background. Here's why I've got Super Off-Road for this stream. Super Off-Road is FPS Reflex, who's currently in the chat right now. This was one of his favorite games when he was a kid. It's still one of his favorite games. But he and I used to play it a lot when he was younger, and races the red and blue truck and have a lot of fun playing this game. And this was his favorite game around the time that he got sick and he had to go to Driscoll's Children's Hospital. So this game is kind of significant in that regard. So I'm playing it both for the that kind of special attachment, because that was his favorite game at the time when he was actually seeing the hospital that we're raising money for today. But the second side to that is that currently I am the world record holder for completion of this game, and it is my hope that, assuming nothing goes wrong, I might have to do a reset if something does go wrong, but assuming nothing goes wrong, I intend to set a new world record in Super Off-Road right now. This game, setting a world record to beat it is kind of difficult to explain. So essentially with Super Off-Road, the game will loop indefinitely. So the win scenario is to completely max out your stats, buy all the upgrades, and max out your stock of nitros at 99. So once you've bought all your upgrades and once you have maxed out your nitros, you can no longer buy anything else, so you have, in a sense, beaten the game. So currently I hold the fastest time for that. My best time is 29 minutes 55 seconds, so I've been practicing for months ahead of time. We're going in, we're going live, we're going loud. So I'm gonna get started here. Of course, I practiced this game for 4 months straight, and that happens. So I apologize for that. I'm gonna try this one more time. Yeah, I went with 3 A's. I wasn't thinking. I usually name it after my brother. What even was that? So, okay, I'll probably start repeating myself again. But, alright, let me just stay ahead of blue. That's all I ask. Don't fall behind that truck. Yeah, that silver truck sucks. So I'm not sure how I'm going to cut this to put on YouTube, since I did a second take of this game. It's kind of cheap of me. I'm sorry, but I would like to at least finish the game correctly. So I'll probably repeat a lot of what I was saying earlier. So for this run, essentially the first step to doing this is to max out tires and shocks early, because those will help you maneuver better. When you have tires, they increase your turning ability. I guess they decrease your turning radius, I guess is the term. They make you turn faster. And they let you lose less speed when you go over patches of water and driving through like the sand over there on the left. And buying shocks essentially lets you lose less speed as you go over bumps. So all these pits that have the water, you lose less speed going through them. That little ditch I just drove through over there, the speed bumps, etc. So you might have noticed that I didn't win that race. I didn't win the first one either. That's okay. The silver truck is pretty ridiculous in that it just keeps buying nitros, and for some reason it starts out with, I think, maxed out stats just to begin with or something. And I don't plan to beat it in any race. If I do, that's great. That's just more money I'll get faster. But when I plan this run, I plan to get only second place in at least every race. And if I get second in every single race, even if I get no money power-ups, I will still have enough by the end of a certain race to have maxed out the truck and won everything. And I think Silver just took that money power-up. And I think blue just took that money power up. Great. And I was denied that money power up at the bottom right over there. But that's okay, like I said, as long as I plan for getting 100,000 each race, then that's good. Because 100,000 lets me buy one of each tires and shocks each race. So I've played through this game several times. I've been practicing it for a few months, and I've been trying to figure out the best plan of action for buying power-ups and item, or for maxing out my truck. And it's to start with shocks, nitros, and then get acceleration and top speed following that. Also, I am in front of the silver truck, so I'm not going to risk getting that money power-up because I might end up making what's called the $50,000 turn, and that's a name or a turn you make where you go too far out of your way to go get an item or something, or you try to cut something too close, you mess up. And am I gonna make it? Yes! So I actually won that race, so I got 50,000 extra bucks. And anyways, the $50,000 turn is when you make a turn, you miss, and you effectively fall back a place in the race. And at the end of the race, that effectively costs you $50,000 because that's how the prize money is staggered between first, second, and third. So this is a track I can usually get first place on without a problem. Again, I'm not planning to get first place on this track, but I usually can. And it's just a matter of hugging this inside curve and kind of cutting across the center right here. Although now silver is in the lead, so may have spoke too soon. So right now I'm at the point where I might make another $50,000 turn, so I'm not going to go get that nitro. I'm trying to stay in. I hit the wall. That again, that's okay. So I can actually get an acceleration too. So that's neat. We've already seen this track. This is Huevos Grande, but it's backwards now, and it has obstacles. And that's something that's really cool about Super Off-Road is that I think there's only like 16 tracks in the game. But each track has 4 instances. It has the regular track, forward and backward, and then it has the track forward and backward with hazards added. And hazards come in the form of those little hay bales you see everyone running into. And hay bales will slow you down if you hit them, of course. But the more times they get hit by trucks, they take damage, and eventually they will break. So you may have noticed over on the left-hand side over there were 3 hay bales when we started. Now there's only 2. And the one in the middle is kind of beaten up. So that one's about to blow up as well. So yeah, blue truck just hit that and it's gone. So they're not permanent hazards, which is neat. Yeah, that previous race I got pushed into the wall by the truck. He cut me off. He had to get to McDonald's. And now that I'm buying acceleration and top speed power-ups, and those are pretty self-explanatory, I guess. Top speed increases how fast your truck goes. Acceleration is how quickly it takes for you to get to that speed. Simple as that. It's not anything special. Oh man, okay. Well, I had to burn up a nitro right there. I got stuck in a piece of geography. So I used up a nitro, and normally I don't want to do that unless I absolutely have to. And in this case, I felt like I had to. And I'm coming up on... I'm really tight with Gray, and I probably should have got that money back because I won't be able to pass him up here at the end. Yeah. Didn't want to do another $50,000 turn. So I don't want to use my nitros because essentially any nitro I use is a nitro I have to buy again at some point in this run. Although there are some places where I do need to use a nitro. And one of those, there's actually 2 instances in this run where I will need to use a nitro at the start of a race. And I'm going to, oh man, that was bad. Missed that turn. So now I'm not going to get that money back even though it's right there. I want to try to hug these turns a little bit more and get my way back up into second place at least. And not do that. Shoot. Okay. As long as I don't get 4th, I'm okay, because 4th is instant lose. Game over. Okay, so I got 2nd, and I had to spend a nitro. I kind of went out of my way to get that nitro power up because I believe on this next course coming up, I'm going to need it. Yeah, I need at least 1 nitro by this point. So the game hasn't been really generous with nitro power-ups, and I missed that money bag. But nitro lets me get a boost at the start and avoid all the trucks coming into contact with each other because I get spun around and get stuck, and that's just not good. Gray's going to pass me up, I don't care. But having maxed out tires and shocks allows me to hook into that little pathway at the start over there and take that shortcut. Which is important because the computer trucks don't really ever take that section. So that helps me stay in 2nd place, at least. So, $110,000, it's not too bad. So this is Big Dukes again. We've already done this course, but now this course is back with obstacles. And there's a money sack in the bottom corner. I don't want to risk it right now because I don't know exactly how this race is panning out. I'm in 3rd place and I'm really close to 4th, so I don't want to risk it and make that turn. Probably could have gotten it on that lap. I'm going to grab it on the next one for sure, though, unless something goes terribly wrong. Well, Blue's getting too close. Yeah, Silver got it anyway, so who cares? And it appeared down there again. So now, here's something I probably could have gotten away with, is I could have made a wrong turn at the very end there and just went down and got the money bag, but I chose not to because I wasn't sure how quickly Blue was closing in on me. I didn't want to fall into 3rd place. Didn't want to risk that. This is Cliffhanger, so this is like an outside-inside course where you go along the outside and then you stick to the inside of these pipes right here. And hook it in. Ah, I missed that money bag. That's not really... I guess if I had to say, that'd probably be the bad item spawn for this stage. It's just that it's just really hard to kind of hook in and get that. You have to kind of... There we go. So, I am... Yeah, I was ahead of Gray for a second there, but I fell behind again. Ooh, nice. Okay, so I am in the lead, so I'm going to try to play it safe here. I'm not going to try to get that... Well, yeah, I guess I might as well get the sack of... Nope, I missed the sack of money, and... So I spent the nitro at the very end right there because I knew I was going to be able to pull ahead and do that. So essentially, I pulled ahead and got that for free. I bought 1 nitro because the Hurricane Gulch level that we played earlier, well actually it didn't have to buy the nitro because I got one for free, but there's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to get that. Oh man, that's bad. There's no guarantee that I'm going to be able to get nitro power-ups, so I'd like to have at least 1 in stock. So there's another Hurricane Gulch stage coming up, the one that had the shortcut where I used the nitro at the beginning, and I want to have at least 1 nitro for that, so that's why I bought that nitro. Okay, I burned up a nitro right there just so I could get away from that mess of trucks. And I actually won that race, so... So that kind of played out in my favor. Here's Fandango. This is the first track of the game, and this time it's backwards. This is a game that it starts out kind of slow. You might have remembered last time we ran this track, the trucks were not very fast. That's because none of us really had any power-ups, any stat increases. So as the game goes on, the trucks get progressively faster. So the game does increase in difficulty. Man, I am sparring with the blue truck. You don't really want to hit any of the cars Hopefully I'm still in second place right there. I think the game should see me as second. Yes. You don't really want to spar with any of the vehicles in the game because it's incredibly easy to get hit and then spun out. And that's no fun. We're going into Wipeout now. And this is a figure 8 track with the big intersection in the center. Not my favorite track in the game. Items like to spawn up in the top, the middle. And I am... Yeah, blue got that money bag. So there, yeah, where the money bag just appeared, that's where it usually appears for the stage. I guess you've probably inferred from now, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but money bag power-ups start at $10,000 and they increment up in 10,000 each time they get picked up. So you get 10, 20, 30, etc. And the nitros do the same thing. The first nitro power-up is worth 1, and the next one's worth 2 and 3, 4. I personally have never seen it go above 4 for either one. I don't know if it's possible. I would imagine it is. But usually the race is over too quickly for me to have found that out. And this blue truck is really jerking me around here. So I'm trying not to fall behind blue. Okay, good. I hate that course. That's one of my least favorite courses in the game. So now I can just spend everything on nitros, and we're getting toward the tail end of this here. Rio Trio. I don't know why it's called 3 rivers. There's not really rivers, there's just a bunch of lakes. But the item that spawned over there on the left is not a very good spawn. If you're far enough ahead, you can... Oh, never mind. One of the computer trucks got it, so it doesn't really matter. Man, for some reason the difficulty's gone up on this. I think it's because they know I'm at extra life. Does the yellow truck got 3rd place? You don't usually see him on the stands. Says, oh, thank you. I thank you for the trophy. Oh, thank you. It's Wipeout. I don't like this course. I don't like it front ways. I don't like it back ways. I don't like it with hazards. So this is just a nightmare. This isn't the worst figure 8 course though. There's a figure 8 course called Leapin' Lizards that I hate because there's a big jump in the middle, and when the courses run backwards, it's hard to tell where you are. It's hard to line up going over that jump because of the level geometry. Get that free nitro, I guess. And there's a money bag too, so yay me. Silver truck uses illegal modifications and cheat codes. Yellow truck is making a name for himself. That's strange. You usually never see him in the top 3. Man, why is yellow in 2nd place? What's happening? Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. So, oh man, silver passed me up. So I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to recoup silver, so I'm going to go ahead and just grab the nitro. Silver was getting a little too far ahead for me to keep up. And earlier when I was buying power-ups, it's kind of imperative to get money power-ups first and foremost, but since the power-ups are random, you never really have any control over that. And that's just because nitros are fine and all. You're going to have to buy nitros in the end anyways, so essentially picking up the nitro power-ups just saves you money. but when you need actual power-ups for your truck, the actual stat increases, getting a bunch of nitros isn't going to help you. In fact, it could very well hurt you. So I'm gonna try to get in and hopefully I can get to those nitros before. I was hoping I could get those nitros before the race ended, because I think that was a pack of 3 that would have saved me. I mean, effectively, it would have saved me $30,000 in the game. Here's Leaping Lizards. And apparently, the version of this track that I hate is the one that you run regular. You're about to see why. So as long as you leave that going straight, it's not a problem. But if you hit anybody in the center right there, or if you get kind of deviated to the left or the right, God help you, because you will not be able to get over that jump. Oh man. I got kind of lucky there. Yeah, world record hype. Coming in right now, we're at about 20 minutes on the time from when I reset the game and started over. So we're coming in. We're definitely coming in. So, man, let's see. I'm pretty sure, going by level order, that I am falling behind a little bit behind my best time when I was rehearsing, and that's just completely up to chance. That's because you can't control where the power-ups show up, and you can't control which ones show up. So they've been kind of stingy with the sack of money, unfortunately. So I'm still on track to set a new time, a new record. It's not going to be my best possible time. I wasn't really keeping track that well of the ones I was doing in rehearsals, but that's totally okay. I'm totally fine announcing a new time. Ideally, this is where the run ends. It ends either during or after this track. In the rehearsals I've done, I've actually finished the game on the level that was before, on the level before this one, Cutoff Pass. So I'm assuming Silver's going to win, so I'm going to take this time to kind of grab those power-ups as they appear. Every little bit helps, it's alright. So unless something goes terribly wrong, I'm set to finish this at the end. Usually I don't have to do this track, which is good because this track is bad. It's really hard to see where the level geometry begins and ends. So all it takes is for you to get stuck on one of these rocks, and you won't even, oh no, you won't even know it. So I pulled ahead of blue. So, alright, coming up on time here. Ready? You ready? You ready? Everyone ready? Time. That's 22 minutes approximately, going by my computer clock. So I don't have the seconds to go with that, but that is 22 minutes, considering the time I set last year, 29 minutes 55 seconds. That is an improvement of almost 8 minutes, 8 whole minutes. That is a new super off-road world record. I will put the time on the screen whenever I put this up on YouTube, but that is absolutely new world record, 22 minutes and change. So arms in the air. I did it. So give me a few minutes. I'm stoked. Let that sink in. Have a sip of this Red Bull Cranberry. This world record brought to you by Red Bull Cranberry. Oh man. Okay, so that was what I came here to do. As long as I set the new record for Super Off-Road, that's it. So 22 minutes and change. So here's the cool thing Here's the cool thing about Super Off-Road, is that even though the game is technically beat, and there's nothing more I can do, the game still has not shown off all the tracks in its lineup. There's still a few tracks that haven't even been seen before. So I don't just mean like the second level, but backwards and with hay bales in it. I mean literally, like, there's certain tracks that we haven't seen yet. So even though the game is over, I would still like to kind of demonstrate some more of the game that you probably wouldn't usually see. So I'm gonna go through and do a few more races, probably play for about another 15-20 minutes just to kind of show you some more of the game. And I'm also at the point now where, since I'm not trying to run it anymore, I can just start using nitros left and right. So when you're able to use nitros, it's pretty easy to win the races. So but that's the problem, is that I had to burn up like 12 nitros just to stay in the lead there, and if you only get 15 nitros for winning, then it's really just a net gain of 3 nitros, so it's not worth it. So you can see what I mean, where it's okay to come in second, because if I come in second, that's a net gain of at least 10 nitros plus however many I get from getting power-ups. So on a good day, even though I'm not winning that race, you can still kind of get $150,000 worth of nitros and power-ups from a combination of prize money and nitros that you pick up on the track. So really, you kind of look at it logistically, it would be nice to get the $150,000 for first place every time, but it's kind of silly to plan for that. So here's a brand new track we never got to see in the regular run, Pig Bog. This is like a loop-to-loop kind of track where you got to go through the middle a couple times around each of these little sections in order. So during a normal speed run of this game, this is not a track you get to see. And that's one thing that's kind of cool about Super Off-Road, is that it lends itself well to being speedrun, because the tracks, even though there's so many of them, they have a fixed order. So Fandango is always going to be the first track, and Huevos Rancheros is always going to be the second track, and so forth and so on. Unfortunately, that results in not being able to see all the different tracks they have in the game, but that's what overtime is for. This is Leapin' Lizards run backwards, which is the better version of Leapin' Lizards, because that means it's not impossible to get over this stupid jump in the middle if you get misdirected. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon. That's okay. I'm made of money. I guess a question that I could answer that was asked while I was streaming this last year is, if you can continue to win money even after maxing out your truck, why not hoard all the cash as well? And there's a very good reason for that. Because even though, let's say you get $150,000 every race, and let's say the game maxed out at $999,999, just short of $1 million. That'd be fine and dandy, but the problem is that the game can stretch into the 2-digit millions, so the tens of millions is what this goes up to. So trying to hoard all the money in the game and max out your truck would take forever, so it doesn't really lend itself well to speedrunning for this game. So that's why it's just max out your truck, and that's how you beat it. So you can see that there's kind of a rhythm to each of the stages if you have nitros. There's a certain place you want to use them. I mean, ideally, when you run this level, you want to use 4 nitros each lap. 1, 2, 3, and then down. But again, that effectively is just burning money for using nitros. Here's a new track we didn't get to see. Shortcut. Really, that thing in the middle is anything but, because depending on how you take it. What's going on? What's going on? What are these trucks doing? They're running it backwards. What? So the silver truck just lost the race. Screenshot this. This is something you never see. Holy crap. I didn't get to commentate anything on that race. That was hilarious. I was gonna... Never mind. Never mind. Who's got 99 nitros now, Silver Truck? Uh-oh. Oh man. Oh, should not have taunted him. That's all right. I'm made of money. I love that Juman is always, it doesn't matter what game, doesn't matter when I'm streaming, he's always good to show up and take screenshots of funny stuff that happens. It's great. Juman is, he's easily one of my favorite community members here at Gatorbox. Got those big dukes. Big Daisy Dukes. Look at them girls with the Daisy Dukes on. I want you to... Yeah. Alright. Let's do a little baton. Do a quick little donut before wrapping that race up. I was hoping I'd be able to do that while showing off the rest of this game. I believe there's one more track in this game that we haven't seen yet. I'm trying to get to that one. Nope, this is a cut-off pass again. So running this... Nope. So running this track, this method, it's actually easier to kind of get up inside this alternate path here and stay in the lead. Although going along the outside is still the fastest. That's okay. I ain't even mad I got second place. There's one more course. I think it's called like Volcano Valley. I think is what it's called. Nope, nope, Boulder Hill. So here's something funny. This is Boulder Hill. This isn't a repeat. This is Boulder Hill with obstacles. And if you notice, there's a single hay bale up at the top. That's their way of adding obstacles to and it's dead. That's their way of adding obstacles to this track. It's just one bale of hay. And now it's just effectively the same course I ran that they finished the game on, so it doesn't matter. Let's get to Volcano Valley so the viewers at home can see. Here we go, Volcano Valley. So, I'm probably not going to play this long enough to get to Volcano Valley with obstacles, but there's something cool I want to point out. It's believed that when this game was in development, there was an alternate path on this course, because when Volcano Valley spawns with obstacles, there's a hay bale that appears outside of the track. It's over by one of the letter V's over there in the title of the track. So there's something that appears out of bounds. So it hints that maybe at one point you were meant to actually drive over that volcano. So that's your little factoid, cutting room floor tip about Super Off-Road, brought to you by TCRF.net. Shout out to @xkeeper. So I'm gonna play this, and I'm gonna wind this game down. I believe coming up next we've got Kirby games. So I'm gonna go through Kirby Superstar because I've got the Super NES game on, or Super NES emulator up. So Kirby Superstar coming up next. I'm gonna take a few minutes to kind of stretch my legs. doing loop-to-loops. So alright, that was Super Off-Road. I'm glad I got to set the record there and then show you guys the rest of the game because I beat it too fast. I beat it too fast for the game to actually go through all the stuff.